Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this, the most exciting event happening. I started this, it was my idea. They said it wouldn't work, and it's beautiful, so beautiful. 25 years ago, for the FPA, the Fake Press Awards.
We've come together this evening to honor some of the world's best journalists and their work. I had crossed the border from Hungary to what was then Yugoslavia. It was the middle of the night. We swam for 2 hours to be free, to have freedom of movement, freedom of speech, to live in a democracy.
This is the silver jubilee of these awards. The FPA has been alive and kicking for 136 years. The idea to put on the FPA Media Awards, the only ceremony to recognise both international and British media at the same event, came to us only 25 years ago. The real genius mind behind this wonderful evening and these awards, Laura Dugdale.
Pause for a moment's quiet to remember those members of the press who are working in difficult and dangerous places across the world.
Jenin is ground zero for the Palestinian resistance in the West Bank.
And the judges went for a piece which really broke new ground with its extraordinary early access in Jenin.
Courageous, the jaw-dropping work and sacrifice of our fellow journalist colleagues in Gaza and the West Bank and Lebanon.
Mark McKinnon for the Globe and Mail Canada.
A team of strangers rescued my translator from Afghanistan 3 years ago, so this was an act of gratitude. So I'd like to dedicate this to a man named Nazar Borovitsky, who I never met, who rescued my friend and then died trying to rescue his. Thank you.
The government, determined to build the refinery, began pressurising locals in Karbala to get out of the way.
Callum McRae and Mark Williams with People in Power, a crude mistake for Al Jazeera English. A difficult story, very well done, which captured the dilemmas of development and environment.
In a way appropriate that this should be happening now because, of course, this year we saw COP29 entirely fail to address that issue. And I think we all as journalists have a duty to try and make the world realise what's going on.
This little boy was pulled out alive, his face blackened. His rescuer rushes to his mother. But before she can embrace her boy, she passes out in a shock.
Yusuf Hamash with Inside the Gaza Siege.
Thanks for Federal Association for recognizing the hardship that we were going through as Palestinian. I won the Federal Press Association last year, but I was on the screen because I was in Gaza, and this year I'm here. Unfortunately, for 14 months, international journalists are not allowed to enter Gaza. This is a huge challenge.
A great piece of investigative journalism that shows exactly what happens to men and women who dare to defy the Taliban.
I didn't prepare anything to say. This is so unexpected. I want to dedicate this award to the journalists who are still working in Afghanistan under extremely difficult conditions.
This is a story about a fugitive who's been on the run for more than 30 years.
A good American is a dead American.
It's important to remember that there are quiet businessmen secretly hoping to get rich off other people's deaths.
It's Sulin Wong with the cruise that will get you chased by the Chinese Coast Guard. Judges thought it a little gem. They couldn't believe the sheer madness of wanting to take a holiday like this.
I'm very pleased to have published this story that shows you can do serious journalism and have fun at the same time.
Bloomberg story was a clear winner with their massive piece of work.
These ships will come with cargoes from Russia. Millions of barrels of oil each month are getting transferred. Another ship will come alongside.
This is a huge surprise and a huge honour and a huge privilege to be in the company of so many fine journalists.
This was wonderful investigative journalism by both teams, the sheer breadth of their research, speaking to more than 500 sources. Two exceptional and deserving winners. A massive story, possibly the biggest investigation of the year, and which has led to Russell Brand being interviewed by the police.
He raped me. I've never ever spoken publicly about this before.
This award isn't really for us, it's for the women who put their trust in us to tell their stories.
We delivered this when I had a 3-month-old.
The first video you will see is from an Afghan journalist whose voice is not being used because we're broadcasting this internationally and we must protect her identity.
The winner of the Thomson Foundation Young Journalist of the Year goes to the reporter, the Afghan Times.
So the City University MA Student Correspondent Award goes to Midori Tanioka.
The PDF is financially supported by national and international donors, while ethnic minority groups within Myanmar provide military training.
Thank you so much. It's a great honor to be here today and winning this great award. I never imagined it would happen. My time at City University was a journey for me to relight my passion as a journalist.
It's awe-inspiring, so please give a huge round of applause to everyone this evening, the nominations and the people who take part.